Hello, Assalamu alaikum. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In JNCIA-Junos course, we are just discussing part two, and today our discussion chapter is chapter three, firewall filters. So, in this chapter, we are just discussing firewall framework, firewall filter evaluation, typical uses of scenario for firewall filters, configuration and application of firewall filters. And another one topic is Unicast reversal forwarding. So the chapter more main focus is firewall filters. If you compare with Cisco, you can compare with ACL. In Cisco, we use ACL to filter traffic. You can filter based on IP address. You can filter based on protocol and service or applications. Okay. So today we'll just show with lab how to filter different protocol port or different IP address which is required for your network. Just I will give you one example to understand the firewall filters of Juniper. So let's go. How to make these firewall filters? Firewall filters is in structurally is similar as a policy routing policy. Routing policy and firewall filters building blocks is same. There is two main option. One option is from and another option is then. From means you are messing some addresses, some protocols, some port, then you can decide the action. If your term just matching the required addresses or protocol, then execute the action. Just first term, search the first term. If any match found, then they will execute the action. If not, no match found, then go to second term. If no match found, that goes to last term. Last term in by default will be denied. Last term by default will be denied. But in routing policy, there is no default deny. But in firewall policy, there have default deny. So if you want to accept anything, you have to mention before default term. Before default term. So that is the main consideration for firewall filters. So then go like just from and then common terminating actions. You can eh, take action except if required requirement matched, then you can set the accept action. You can set discard action and reject action. You can also choose the another option is local tone or action modifiers. You can go one term to another term. You can take log message, and you can set the policy to limit the packet. So I will show you in lab how to create the firewall filters and how to take the action and action modifiers. So this is a very simple example to making the firewall filter for IPv4. Discard and reset. Discard and reset both are denied the packet, but discard is silently dropped and reset is not silently dropped. They send log message to log server or console log, or if you set the syslog server configured in your router, then send the log message to that server. Okay. Main difference, discard silently drop and reset create an ISAMP message. That's it. That's the basic difference. Okay. Yeah. So how to make the firewall filter? Just you edit firewall family. Firewall family. This is for IPv4 because here mentioned INET. You are just creating a firewall filter for IPv4. INET, then filter is the keyword and filter name is, this is user defined name. Filter name is user defined name. Here they choose the name is filter dash in. Filter dash in. Then you make the term. Term name is block some packets from. This is your required addresses or interesting traffic. Then you can set the action. Action is discard. Others will be accept. Others, all service or application will be accepted. If I not set this line in this firewall filter, all traffic will be denied because of default deny. So in that case, you have to mention the accept term in last. Okay. So if we make this firewall filter in our lab, just for showing, just see how to set this one. Set firewall family. You can set for IPv4, you can set for IPv6. I show you here for IPv4. Set firewall family inet, and then keyword is filter. Then you set the filter name. Filter name is user defined name. So here example is filter in. You can say it filter underscore in. This is the firewall filter name. Then you can set term and set the term name. You can set term name term1 from and then. So from you can match source address, like source address. You can match destination address, destination address. You can set protocol. You can match protocol. You can match port. Okay. So this is working based on layer 3, based on layer 4. Layer 4 means protocol and port. You can filter. Okay. Set firewall family inet filter, then filter name. This is user defined name. Term name is user defined name. From you may sing just source address. You can set any address here like 192.168.10.0/. Done. So edit firewall family inet filter name is filter in. So what is, just you set the term. and you have to set the action, set trump one, then you can set now action. Action will be multiple action you can set. Action will be accept, action will be discard, action will be reject. Okay, and some action modifier like syslog, like polyser, like log. Okay, this is the action modifier. Count. Okay, so set term one, then if you discard this packet, then set term one, then discard. If you set some action modifier here, like count, like log, you can set here. Okay, set term default term, set term default, 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 then accept. All are accept. Set term default, we not mention here any source, any destination. If you not mention, that means any source, any destination will be accepted here. So this is the simple example of firewall filter for Juniper router. You understand this one? Is it clear for you? This is it okay? Yes. Okay. So after creating the firewall filter, you have to apply this firewall filter in interface. In Cisco, you first create the ACL and then apply to physical interface or VTY terminal. Okay. So similarly in Juniper, after creating the firewall filter, you have to apply this firewall filter in interface. In interface, you can set firewall filter in both direction. One is input direction, Cisco is called in, and another one is output direction, Cisco is called the out. When traffic is coming to router, then input filter is you have to apply the direction is input. If traffic is going from router, then you have to put the direction is output. So based on your requirement, on your topology, you can set the direction. It will be input or it will be output. Okay, you can set in both direction. So if I apply this filter, our topology, this is my server. We're creating the firewall filter in VMX1. VMX1. So this is the router to router interface. Z is 0 by 0 by 0. If I apply this firewall filter in ZE 0 by 0 by 0, then just set here, set interface ZE 0 by 0 by 0, then unit 0, family, inet, then filter, then direction. Input direction, then output direction. Just we block the traffic which is coming from server, that traffic will be blocked. If I set this filter rules in BMX1, so your traffic is just coming to Z 0 by 0 by 0. So which traffic is coming in Z 0 by 0 in input direction, that will be blocked. Which traffic? Server traffic will be blocked. So if you set this firewall filter and apply this Z 0 by 0, that will be input direction, and this is your firewall filter name, that is applied. Firewall filter as applied. You can modify the firewall filter now. Edit firewall, family ID, filter, and filter name is filter in. So your source address is 209.2.0/24. You can redefine set round one from source address 209.165.2.0/24. You can delete previous addresses, delete this one, 192. Okay, so done. Okay, this is how to create the firewall filter, how to apply the firewall filter. You understand this? How can we see the log? Okay, this log is normally generated when packet is coming from this source address. If this packet is discarded, then generate the log. This log is in under log message and show log message this file. And another one is if you configure the syslog, then this message will be transferred to syslog server. Okay, like Cisco. Okay, so here is one example. You just practice this example. This example has already showed here. We can see the log in real time, similar to debug. If you see the log in real time, you can uh, start the message file. If you start or monitor the message file, you can see the see live debug. Okay, which is we are seeing in Cisco. So tester knowledge part one. This example already configured or showed in this last pages. Just requirement is blocking the permit the inbound traffic, web server traffic. Here is the example. You can practice from here. And another one is filtering local traffic. Local traffic means when a packet coming in Juniper router indirect, like you can log in, you want to log in Juniper devices through telnet or through SSAs. So this traffic will be dropped in router. This traffic is called the exception traffic, okay, or local traffic. If you protect your router, you have to set the control plan to protect your router. All IP will not be permitted for login. If you set this type of filter rules, you have to apply this firewall filter rules in loopback 0, not any physical interface. In Cisco use control plan. Cisco use control plan. If we make similar firewall filter based on Cisco, we generate first ACL, then class map, then policy map, then we apply this policy map in control plane. But in Juniper, we first create the firewall filter, then apply to loopback 0. That is the equivalent of control plan policy. Okay. So I will show you one example how to limit SSH traffic. Your specified address is accepted for SSH, others will be denied. This is the simple example of SSH or SSH protection or SSH restriction. Like example, if source prefix list trust, if address is from source prefix list trusted, then SSH is allowed. SSH is allowed. Other than this, SSH is not allowed. Other traffic will be allowed. And apply to this firewall filter in loopback 0 interface. Input limit SSH access. Okay. I will show you this example also. Is the prefix list, how to create the prefix list in Juniper. You can also set policing. Trusted is prefix list name. I will show you. Trusted is just the prefix list name. Prefix list name, you can set any name. This is the user defined name. Okay. This prefix list will be only permitted. Okay. I show now this configuration example. I will show you now. Okay. No. Just name. Trusted is just name. Okay. Okay. Just consider this. The server is primarily the server is only accepted for login the VMX1, or this server is not allowed for accessing the VMX1. Any will be your requirement. Okay. So firstly, edit interface LO0. So I set here delete unit 0, family, inet, filter. So that's it. So no firewall filter applied in loopback 0 now. Okay. So in Linux machine, from Linux machine, you just test the connectivity. Test 1, 2, 3. Terminal. It's okay. Ping. This is the BMX1 209.165.0.1. Address is 209.165.0.1. Is it traceable? Not traceable. Okay. Checking the address. IP address show 2.10. Address is 2.10.24. So first make ping the gateway. 2.1. Yes, 2.1 is reachable. 0.2 0.2 also reachable, but 0.1 It's not traceable. Okay, it's maybe routing issue. Check here. Run shell route. Webpack is configured here 2.0/24. Um, 0.2 run through route 0.1. Okay, run being 0.1. Yes, 0.1 is traceable from VMX1. Oh, I can't disable this address because I set a firewall filter in C 0/0. Edit interface C 0/0, then show delete unit 0 family inet filter. Okay, no firewall filter in this interface, then commit. Okay, then try for connectivity. Yes, I accessing the router. If I set SSH request, SSH user in VMX1, edit system login user. User is here is one user. User is lab. Okay, so check the lab user. Lab @ 209.165.0.1. I'm sending the SSH request. Oh, address is wrong. 209 dot 165.0.1. Yes, lab 123. I'm accessing the router from server. Okay, clear? Server is accessing the PMX1 through SSH. Okay. If I restrict now, this server or this PC cannot access through SSH. Firstly, you set policy option prefix list. You set the prefix list name. This is user defined name. So this address 2.0 is allowed for SSH. 22.0 is allowed for SSH. Just for testing, I deleted this one. So only 22.0/24 is allowed for SSH. This is only a prefix list. This prefix list, oh, we call this prefix list in firewall filter. Okay, so just making 22.0/24 is allowed for login. Okay, so 2.0 is not allowed for login. So then go to edit firewall family inet filter. Filter name is login, and first term is SSH allowed from source prefix list. Source prefix list are login allowed. Source prefix list are login allowed. Okay, so in this example in book, trusted is just prefix list name. This prefix list is created here. Policy options, prefix list name. This address is in prefix list. Clear? This is Okay, then okay, then um, if source prefix in a login prefix list, SSH is allowed. SSH is accepted if SSH is coming from this prefix list. Other than this, SSH will be reset. Other than this, SSH will be reset. And last term, that means last term will be accept because our default term is denied. For this, we have to mention the accept term. Okay, this term SSH accepted, this term SSH rejected. So this a login allowed prefix list only allowed for SSH. This prefix list is allowed for SSH. But in our topology, Linux machine have address 2.0/24. This address will not be allowed for SSH in BMX1. So just test this one. Just few times before we said we test the SSH connection and we send the ICMP. Both are allowed. But if I check now, ICMP is okay because we not discard or reset ICMP packet. Only limit the SSH connections. Okay. So send the SSH connection to BMX1. Are getting this? Okay. Left 1, 2, 3. Because I yet not applied this prefix, this firewall filter yet not applied in loopback 0. If you see this one, edit, interface, allow 0, unit 0, there is no firewall filter here. That's why we can log in through SSH. So if I set the firewall filter, set family, inet filter, direction should be input and firewall filter name is login. So you just apply the firewall filter in loopback 0. Then test your connection from server. Okay. Then test our connection from server. Again, I send the ICMP. ICMP is working. This is not limit. If I set the SSH connection, the connect to host, this 422 or out to host are this not communicating. Is not communicating, but in ICMP it's working. Okay, so this is another example of firewall filter to limit the you can say control plan. You can create a similar term for telnet and include this telnet requirement in your um, filter policy and then apply to the loopback 0 interface. So local traffic, if you want to block the local traffic, you can create the firewall filter and apply to the loopback interface. Is it clear for you how to protect our how to protect your router, how to set the control plan, or how to filter the local traffic. It's okay. This is, are you hearing me? No, no line between. In Juniper, you are just applying the firewall filter in loopback 0 in respect to line between. Okay, no line between in Juniper. So this example is clear. Then policy. You can policy traffic like Cisco. You just set just two step. You can just making the filter policy. You're just making SSH connection is allowed for this address, but this address, but you just consider this is your customer. This is the BMX2 router. This is your customer PC or customer router, and you just right limit the packet customer just purchasing 100 Mbps bandwidth. You just police or limit the 100 Mbps packets for this customer. So you have to create a policer who is limit the traffic up to 100 Mbps. So some concept is in Cisco. So if you want to create the policer, set firewall, set firewall filter policer. So mention the family firewall filter, family. I need filter, and filter is like 100 MB. Then from sorry, family I need policy. Family I need filter.